Yo, press record. What's up? You're listening to Zero to X. My name is Daniel, and today with me, as always.
Hey guys, it's Amara here.
What's up? What's up, my guy?
I'm doing very well, man. How you doing?
I'm back. The answer to that question, we don't know how it goes. It's going. That's the most that I can say.
Yeah, man.
It's going. How have the past couple of weeks been for you?
They've been a lot, intense. Bro, intense.
What's that been like?
It's been a lot of work. Now I'm juggling a lot of things.
Naturally.
If I tell you I saw this level of work coming into the year, I'd be lying. Man. But the thing is, it's kind of been increasingly intense.
How so?
So it started off with, it's kind of like the more you do, the more you see like the bigger picture.
To be done.
Yeah, and what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So now I'm at the point where I'm just strongly considering. I'm beginning to consider the possibility of an EA.
See God! Wait! See God,
Wait.
Okay.
It's not like I don't think I'm going to follow through on that for now.
Alright.
For now. For now, bro. But yeah, that's the level of intensity. I needed this week, for example, to balance out a lot of spillover work that I had to deal with from the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
And so it was a lot of, it's kind of like the thing Steve Covey talks about in his book, Seven Habits of
Highly Effective People.
Yeah, it talks about 4 quadrants that basically balance importance and urgency.
Yeah.
And I feel like I may have thrown away importance and urgency somewhere in between last week and last 2 weeks. But thankfully, I needed this week to catch up on that.
Yeah.
And I've been able to pull most of that off. But I still have a bit of some stuff to do. And I'm looking forward to getting them done within today and tomorrow. But guy, it's been crazy.
Amara, here you are achieving work-life balance.
Guy, it is not balancing yet.
I remember a couple weeks back, a couple episodes when we were recording, and you were like, you had achieved work-life balance.
It's scattered again.
I'm like,
oh God.
What is work-life balance?
It's scattered again, bro.
Yeah, I get you.
Scattered again, man.
I get you. But today, what are we talking about today, guy?
Dude, just to learn with the thing I'm saying. So guys, today we want to talk about successful habits or habits that we think are consistent amongst successful people. Yes. And then how to apply or how to begin to apply those habits in your life. Healthy habits for success, basically.
You know the funny thing about these habits of success? Like, because of the foundation that I have, thank God for my parents, they were incredible with that. Bro, I don't read book that. Bro, like the first book, quote unquote, self-help book. I stopped calling them self-help books because they're becoming cliche. So I prefer to call them wisdom books. It was weird, but like I didn't like the cliche of like there was a negative connotation or a not positive connotation to say self-help. But yeah, like those genre of books, like the first one I read was when I was 10. Yeah, so that's like 15, 16 years old reading those books. And like I feel like the first 8 years up until I was 18, bro, like I read everybody, man. I read Brian Tracy, I read Zig Ziglar, I read Jack Canfield, I read John Maxwell, I read Stephen Covey, obviously. I read everybody, man. Like my parents did a great job buying those books. And like the church that I was in then.
This is something a lot of people don't have.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have this. Like the church I was in then also seriously encouraged you, like developing yourself, developing your leadership ability, excellence. So they were incredible. So like, bro, I could not have exactly, and I'm grateful for that foundation.
Yeah, I've met people who haven't like been able to grow up with this.
I was exactly.
And the thing is,
Papa said the same thing.
I read books growing up, but I know I didn't read as many books as you did, clearly.
Yeah.
But then I think about the people who grew up in completely different people who basically had completely different
backgrounds
and
or
upbringings.
yeah.
And dude, I think this will be for them.
This is for
you
y'all.
Guys, we see you.
This is for y'all.
If that's you, we see you.
This is for y'all. Yeah.
We see you. We're doing this for you.
So yeah, I said that to say this. There was a Brian Tracy book I read.
English, God, our English is so sweet. Sometimes I said that to say this. Anyway, move on.
So I said that to say this, yeah. There was a Brian Tracy book. I can't remember which one. That man has probably like over 100 titles. I'm not even joking.
Dude,
he's an OG.
He's an OG, man.
And what's beautiful is that he had done the things before he started teaching the things, man.
Like, bro, like this thing.
Bro,
our own is 0 to X.
Do you understand? So, we're literally starting, bro, from the beginning.
I respect people who have walked. They finished walking.
They
now said, okay,
the walk.
This
now
the
they can talk about the walk.
This is the blueprint.
Yeah,
it's beautiful, man.
So, bro, so this story, yeah. So Brian Tracy said he was at a conference or a convention or a seminar, like something around sales or personal development, the typical stuff that he would go for. And he said, so it was like a breakout session, like a lunch break or something. And he was sitting on one side of the table and the side opposite was like free. So he said he noticed an older gentleman and a young woman that appeared to be his assistant, like they were with their trays of food. They were trying to look forward to settle down. And him just being courteous, he didn't even know who this person was or anything, was like, oh, you can come sit here, that kind of this thing. So the man was trying to not intrude, but Brian Tracy insisted, and then he ended up sitting down with his assistant and was thankful about the space, because I mean, it's a convention, everywhere is full, man.
I can imagine what that looks like.
So, like, a couple seconds chatted into, like, I was like, Brian Tracy was like, he actually recognized the guy, and I think his name was Kopmeyer or something like that. Yeah. But the gist of that older gentleman was that he was, at the time, one of the most revered minds in the entire self-help personal development sphere. Like, he wrote a book. He wrote 4 series of books. 4 series of books on the 250 habits or keys of success, something around that. But bro, there were like 250 things that this man felt was important for you to be successful. And he wrote 4 volumes of that.
Dude.
Bro, that's like 1,000 things.
Dude, and that's a lot of things.
That's a lot of things to consider, man. Like, bro, there is no way in heaven that we cram that into a 30-minute podcast. No way. So this is fair warning. This is just to say, don't take this as an exhaustive list or the end-all be-all of the habits you need to. We're probably going to share the most important, the most practical, the most popular, the most helpful so far.
Especially in our own lives.
Especially in our own lives.
The lives of successful people we look up to.
100%. So, like, this man legit have written like 1,000 different themes or factors or so it was fascinating. So Brian Tracy then asked him a really interesting question. He said, out of all the habits or laws or keys or whatever, out of everything, which one is the most important? The man smiled. He didn't even stutter, man. It was like discipline.
Dude.
It was like, with discipline, everything works.
Dude.
Without discipline, none of them work.
Dude.
Bro, see, so
the fact that I have never thought, like, I know we have screamed discipline a couple of times on this podcast, but I have never thought about which would be the most important.
Like, if you had to pick one.
Yeah, if you had to do, that's wild. Man.
Like Brian Tracy's book, No Excuses, and it's a book on self-discipline, literally. It says self-discipline is the ability to do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, regardless of whether you feel like it or not. So at some point you were smart enough to say, I want this, I need to do this to get this.
Yes.
So I'm going to do this. Discipline is saying, I will do that thing, come rain, come shine, like whatever it is.
Yes.
That's what discipline is.
That's a heavy trait to have.
Bro. Like, ever since, like, it's in thinking about, like, this episode, like, the story just came to mind and I was like, discipline. Without discipline,
I love it so much.
Without discipline, none of them work. But with discipline, everything thing works. It's what guarantees that
Yeah.
every other thing. It's literally doability.
Yeah, like, dude.
It's
discipline-
literally
discipline
doability,
is up
man.
there now.
Like, bro, so like
we
yo,
have it.
we're getting into habits. Just keep discipline. One side.
Dude.
Discipline is what makes it work. Yeah, but yeah, let's get into the more day-to-day things. So, what are a couple of these things for you?
First of all, let's just say that if after listening to this podcast,
You're
I'm
big.
guys,
Oh my god.
I'll get back to what you want to hear.
Yeah.
But I watched a video by Graham Stephan.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I watched a video by Graham Stephan.
Yeah.
And guys, Graham Stephan is a YouTuber and real estate guy. And
yeah, we dig him here.
Yeah, he has a podcast.
The Iced Coffee Hour.
Titled The Iced Coffee Hour.
Yeah.
And on the podcast, he was talking with someone. And the person wanted to say something. And he told Graham, because Graham is obviously producer and owner
he's
of
going
podcast.
to edit it, yeah.
Told Graham, add some music.
Add background music here.
So guys, please, like me, after listening to this podcast, like, see, bro, I say this like with all sincerity that personally, I have taken like saying the things I will do and doing the things I say to be a very big deal in my life.
100%.
But hearing this story just made me realize I will marry this.
LMAO, that's what's up.
I'll put a ring on her finger.
Oh, that's it. That's it. That's the vibe.
Dude.
That's the vibe, man.
Honestly, like before
Everything
this conversation,
works with discipline. Never thought about it this way. Yeah.
I had never thought about it. Like, what would be that one thing
that
guarantees every other thing?
Guarantees every other thing? It's discipline.
It's insane, man. So, guys, with some music behind the scenes, we will add music, but guys, please take away discipline.
Yeah.
But yes, back to my life. I think about some of the things that have helped me tremendously, and one of them that really stands out is starting work at a fixed time, bro.
Yeah, I have thoughts, but I'm going to hold myself, man.
Bro,
starting
when you work at a fixed time. Today you started work at 7. Tomorrow you started work at 10. Guys, how are you? How is that in any way going to help? I don't see it, at least personally.
Yeah.
I don't see how it's going to help you to be a top performer.
Yeah.
Right? And it's something that can be so very overlooked when
especially
you are working
9 to 5.
No, if you are not working.
No, that's what I said. When you're not working in a 9 to 5, it's something you can easily.
Because 9 to 5, as I know you guys have to show up every day at the office at a fixed time. And it's very easy to take that for granted. The fact that you are forced to be in the office.
Yeah, like there's an external source of accountability for you.
Yes.
But like when you're just like by doing your own thing or your things.
Or when you are your own manager.
When you're your own manager.
No. Let's say you actually manage people.
Yeah.
And then you have the freedom to come in at any time, dude.
I get you. Like when the accountability is your
responsibility. And the thing is, we don't realize that doing this thing for your body gives your body consistency to look forward to. The human body likes consistency. It's
built towards efficiency.
Yes. It's that thing where your body wants to, as much as possible, automate a lot of tasks.
It doesn't want to have to make decisions all
the time. It wants to turn a lot of things from voluntary actions to involuntary actions.
I think this was in James Clear's book.
Yes. So you want to make sure that you are doing this for your body so that you can operate at a certain level of efficiency every single day. I found personally though that when I don't start work at a fixed time, I struggle with drowsiness. And in addition to this, if I don't work out that day, the drowsiness is sure. It's sure, bro.
So that's your second habit, exercise.
That's the second habit.
Physical activity.
Physical activity. I use that to start my morning, but I think about I out of genuine curiosity because I work from 9 to 5 for it's a tiny winning bit of time. But but I think about how people do it. Like you are forced to be in the office at certain times, and then you find that a lot of people resort to using coffee as a way to stimulate their senses, right? I I know it works to some extent,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know that it is good for you and sustainable for you.
Mm.
I found personally that my day starts by 5:50 a.m. every day. 5:50 a.m. I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that because I personally run on the stairs. That's what I
Yeah.
use for exercise. So when I say
Okay.
exercise, I don't mean that you can carry iron by 6 a.m. I mean, some
Mhm.
people do it, but
Yeah.
please pick your own struggle and run with it.
Yeah, like start small, like we always say.
It's not even about starting small.
You do what you
So
actually can do. What
I
fits.
can't remember, but like I've seen someone who does like pull-ups as his own form of physical activity in the morning, right? And that just stimulates your senses, gets your juices flowing, and you find that that's the goal. The goal is to stimulate your senses and get your juices flowing. And I find that I'm able to operate for longer hours.
Yeah.
Once I do that activity in the morning. But the
that's
moment I miss it, bro, I'm struggling. I'm struggling through my mornings. And my mornings are super important. That thing you said about blocking out time for work. Yeah, you gave it you assign a proper tag to it as to what it is.
Yeah.
But I realize that that's in some way basically what I'm doing.
Exactly,
every single morning,
deep work,
right? And so if I don't take those early hours, the time for myself, the time for exercise, and then the time for showing up fixed, I show up at my desk at a fixed time every single day. If I don't take those things as religiously, and I don't treat them with some sort of reverence.
Secretness.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you.
Every other thing just seems to fall out of line.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. I really like that point. Obviously, I'm you know what's interesting about this thing to me was that I've had a lot of cycles of what productivity should look like. I've gone through a couple of things. Some out of necessity, some out of experimenting to see what it's like. I've done the working overnight to get things done. Again, out of necessity. I like sleep.
Dude,
I like sleep.
That was when I told myself it used to be hard.
I like
talk
sleep.
about it.
Yeah, for sure. Then sometimes I just want to see, am I sharper at night when it's not every 5 minutes that is Slack message or a Gmail notification, man. Like, bro, at a point in time, I had to make my notification, the sliders, the banners, to not show what the email is. I just know it's there. I've not seen it.
I'll deal with it.
But I will deal with it at
my own time. Dude.
Because, bro, you can literally spend
your entire day or multiple hours
reacting.
Yes.
Not doing the proactive work.
Yeah, you're just reacting and reacting.
That's it. So, like, I just said, and
this ties into another beautiful habit I want to mention, but continue.
So, like, I've done that for 2 weeks. Yeah, my productivity upped, man.
Dude, it will.
Like, bro, it upped. So, I would say precursor to the fixed wake up times. I would say a successful day begins the night before. Always
planning the day.
Plan the day.
That's what I was just about to say.
Plan the day the night before and sleep. See, guys, like this as a night routine. Yeah, like different people have like different things that like they make up. Similar to Amara, my day starts at 5. 5:50. It starts by 5.
Some people their own day starts by 4.
Some people starts by 4.
Like start your day by 3.
Whatever, figure out what works for you and then do it. But then the thing is that the important thing is, especially this point you said about the fact that because we work from home, like even people that work 9 to 5 now even work remotely.
Yeah.
So like, bro, it's possible that you don't like. I work remotely. I'm an operations lead. I know the things I have to process. Although to be fair, I have a pretty good bunch of people that I work with. I have to work with exactly. But I know that it is entirely possible for you to roll out of your bed in the morning and go into a meeting 2 minutes
reactive mode.
I'm telling you, I know it's possible. You just roll out of your bed and you are in sync and you
just
are speaking plain BS. Bro, you are speaking plain BS. Impressive sound. Bro, I know it's entirely possible.
I sounded.
Bro, it's very entirely possible, man. I'm dragging all of us. Just Gig Tech 95. I'm dragging all of us. You just show up. Engineers especially. You just show up to sing or show up to stand up. What did you do today? Like I said, I think I said this thing before. In tech, you have to be able to talk smart.
Yes, you said it. No,
I said it
outside the podcast.
In tech, you have to sound impressive, otherwise people won't take you seriously.
Yeah.
To be fair. And they'll just come and they'll not say, oh, but then I have a blocker. I'm like, BS. Yes. The blocker. Sometimes it might be genuine, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, what I'm trying to say is, in a lot of ways, we depend on ourselves for the accountability we give, for the input that we give. So that's why planning the night before, then resting.
Yeah.
Figure out what the ideal rest for you is. If that's 5 hours, if that's 6 hours, if that's 7 hours, 8 hours, 9, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Figure that out. So me, I try to get 5-6 hours a night. It's not the recommended, doctor recommended, whatever.
You should get the doctor recommended one.
Yeah, like, man, I will try. I've been listening to a lot of sleep is one of the next things for me to fix, because the fix was going from what I was before to these 5-6 hours I'm not managing. Amara, you knew what it was before.
Guys, you don't want to know what it was before.
So now I'm managing 5-6 hours a night, and like I saw, there is this guy that Stephen Barley interviewed on Diary of the Sea.
Yes, I saw that video.
You saw the one of the sleep experts, exactly. So like I'm probably going to watch that and take some tips from there, and then just figure out what works in my body. Yeah. But things are like making sure your body is in optimum shape and condition is easily one of the bigger parts of being successful, because no matter how much idea or ginger or vision that you have, the body won't cooperate with you to fulfill these things. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. So like taking care of your body priority. So like for me, it's the night before I said, okay, I've time blocks. These are the things that I'm going to like work on or do. Then sleep, ideally. Wake up 5, work out and like do some light reading or some praying. Then 6 o'clock, same thing. Then my own work, my own deep work starts by 7. 7 to 11. If I have a meeting, I can take meetings from 11. If it's it has to be like a C-suite level leader that is calling for a meeting by 11.
Yeah.
Like I said, if the company is not burning, don't call
me, please.
You send, I will air you, like, don't, because if I keep on, I will not do proactive work.
Yeah.
I will not do proactive work.
Yeah.
So
I want to add to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
And just in line with this, I was thinking about that thing you said about the people who work for you. And this may not necessarily be the case that the people we are talking about who are like fantastic people.
Yeah.
Like organizational
hierarchy,
right? They are below you, right? This may not be the case, but I think it's pretty important that you surround yourself with people who are equally winning. Winning. I wanted to say people who are looking to win, but there's a problem with that. Here's the problem.
I want to hear that problem.
Oh God, I remember I watched the video by Simon Sinek, and
that man is so smart.
And he said in the video that that thing was a team playing sport, in the sense that, let's say you, Daniel, for example, are somebody who you want to win, right? You have all these aspirations and all of those things, right? And I'm in your life, like trying to be your supporter, right? Now it's a team sport kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a team sport,
right? And all I can do in this team, no matter how we want to think about it, is to offer you assists. I can never be your goal scorer. It's your life.
Yeah, exactly.
So
interesting.
Yes, I can only be the one playing the assists. I can't make the shots myself.
Yeah.
So if you're not making any shots, I'm gonna back out eventually, right? So that's why I wanted to say surround yourself with people who are aspiring to win. But I found that if this person isn't doing anything about their lives, or about their life, then
that's very important.
It probably is a situation of all talk and no action.
And no action, yeah.
And so you may not want to involve this kind of people in your
it's
life.
like, the entire concept of association is powerful. It's like, dude, there are 5 rich guys, you're going to be the 6th one.
Dude.
If there are 5 dumb guys, you're going to be the 6th one.
Dude.
If there are 5 buff guys, you're going to be the 6th buff guy. Because if you see everyone, bro, when we're in like...
James Clear talks about this.
Yeah, like when we're in Unilag, man, and let's say you happen to be in a room and there were like 2 people that used to work out.
You will work out.
Bro, you work out, man.
Who is your daddy or your mom?
You will work out.
And nobody's going to force you to work out.
That's it.
It's just association.
So like, that's actually a hack, like a helpful hack.
Yes.
It's a way you prime your environment to succeed. Yeah. So I think so far we've mentioned a couple of habits. We've mentioned fixed times to work. What's the second thing you mentioned? Physical activity.
Physical activity in the morning.
I've mentioned planning your night the day before, and I've mentioned sleep. Very, very important things. So now, I think the next natural follow-up for this would be how you handle deep work. We've talked about this a couple of times already in a couple of episodes. So, but that time for deep work, and then this is where it now gets tricky because your day is literally for executing.
Yes.
I don't expect you to be thinking or brainstorming or imagining strategy of things to do for more than 10% of your day, for more than 10-20% of your day. Yeah, except your live execution is creativity or creating or imagining. Yeah. But in terms of like, planning out what to do, figuring out the things to be done, you should spend your day in the doing, in the execution of that.
Planning,
so
bro.
exactly.
You say you're doing deep work and you're planning. Dude, not in the planning, man. The deep work should be in the doing, and I think it's also important to add, just in line with that planning deep work means that you are aware of what your distractions are and you kill them.
Bro,
you are aware of the distractions.
I was reading Carl Newport's Deep Work. This thing about like my notifications I told you that I did, bro, guy, like I read like the first 10 or 20 pages that morning, bro. You know, I don't know because I've never had to do like substances or anything, man. But I can imagine what it's like when you take a hit. Do you understand? Like, bro, that 10-20 pages that I just took, dude. I was like, dude, oh yo, mute, hide notification, hide preview, don't show me anything. Like, bro, like I didn't even finish reading the book. Just the first 20 pages, and bro, that day, I kid you not, whether it was the placebo effect or whatever you want to attribute it to, the amount of pending work that you got done that day, things that, like I said, I told you this thing before. In my mind, I know, okay, once I have something to do, I know I've fleshed out what should be the beginnings of how I begin to like tackle that particular issue. Yeah. But in the actual doing, and I guess maybe I didn't write down what I thought or whatever. But bro, the creativity was just flowing, man. Like as in ease, bro. I was in a state of flow. Like the ease of just doing the things, giving the reports, blah blah blah, and like doing the things that we have advised people to do. I was re-listening to an episode that we did right after to work earlier in the week, and I was like, so guys, when we tell you that we go back to listen to our podcast as listeners sometimes, we are listeners bro. It's like I was not saying, when all the time we were saying over communicate, blah blah blah. I was like, Daniel, you know the over communicate to communicate some more, bro. Bro, I need to communicate. I said that as a pro tip. Yeah. Quote unquote. But I found out that taking stock of my life, order of my life at that point in time, or at the point of listening to this was like 3-4 days ago. I was not doing the best job of over communicating. Not communicating, it's not about communicating. Go and listen to Right Attitude to Work. It's titled, this is in our podcast or archives. You know what we're talking about. So it's like, like there's all of that jazz. So in the actual day-to-day of what it is that you're doing, people have very different ideas or methodologies of how they do the things that they do. Yeah. Some people time box. I feel like that's the most popular one. The time box the group activities together. Yeah. Like the more likely the activity is, the more likely it is you're going to do within the time period. Yeah. Move stuff over, blah blah blah. People use Pomodoro. Some people use Pomodoro and like they just attack tasks and whatnot. However it goes. I know Elon Musk does his own time boxing day boxes. At least the last we heard, like he'll tell you, I'll spend, and this was pre-Twitter, I would spend a day at Tesla, spend a day at SpaceX, like there were specific days he knew he had to be in like these different offices and like whatnot. So it was boxed. So he was never ever doing SpaceX work on a Tesla day work. That kind of thing. Reminds me of a really interesting story that elaborates this point of like the actual doing of, especially when you have multiple things to do. Yeah. So there was the guy told the story of, it was obviously one of the success books, and it was just talking about how focus as a habit is really important. Yeah, focus is one of that successful habits, bro. Focus is one of that successful habits. Focus, and when I mean like there are different ways, but I'm specifically referring to focus. Finish. Oh. To focus in the context. These devices that we bro. Let's finish. I'm specifically referring to focus in terms of it's an offshoot of discipline, to be fair.
It is, but it is a unique thing.
It's important that
itself.
it is defined.
Yes.
It's like, bro, that morning that I'm telling you about where I read like first 20 pages of deep work, yeah, I found myself, I had my task list, yeah, I started going, I was just crossing things off. I was like, ha!
As a beast.
As a beast, as beast where I be. So I'll now find myself wanting to do those typical things like the walk around for a while, come back, or do this. None of those things are necessarily bad, but I know for me that they are distractions.
Oh, mine is not, they're not distractions for me.
I get you.
But get you.
I know for me, again, we've talked about self-awareness. It's just me just trying to not do the
walk away from the
walk.
walk.
Understand? That's it for me, man. Like, I'm not
taking the walk away from
the walk. Like, bro, that's what it is for me. Like, I had enough self-awareness to know that that's what this was. Do you understand?
Nice.
Bro, I would literally catch myself walking outside my outside office. Boom! Turn around. Then I'll go and sit back down. Bro, like, I'm talking of mid-typing. Like, I'm typing 2 paragraphs into whatever document I'm supposed to be drafting, for instance. I'll just stand up and look. Bro, it's the most hilarious thing. I'll just catch myself before I get to like, turn back, go back, finish up what you were doing. And like being able to that, the focus was incredible. And I'm experimenting something. I'll share this when I've done like a couple of weeks when it's ripe. And I'll share my learnings here. But the idea of it is this. So there was this particular guy in an office. Yeah. He was a manager of sorts, yes. So apparently there was a staff position, a fairly high staff position, not up to his level, yeah. It was a fairly high, maybe a direct subordinate, but still a pretty up there position that needed to be filled. Like they fired the person that was there before. He had the expertise to do it, and it was a critical role, and it needed to be done. At that time, it wasn't something they could wait before they hire another person. That might take God knows how many weeks or months. So he was doubling as those things. Yeah. At first, it was chaos. But then he said, no, but you know what he did? He separated offices.
He separated the offices. Nice.
So when he was in the office of, let's say, a particular title, he would go to that office, do work for only that thing, give instructions for delegation and how feedback should be passed on, blah, 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 blah. And tasks for that, this thing.
Tasks for another thing won't come to that office.
Exactly, won't come to that office. And the next thing he would do, when he needed to do the other thing, he would now go into that office with a fresh mind, fresh context, and do the work that needs to be done.
That makes a lot of sense.
Bro,
focus on distractions, man.
See, you need, because there's a really interesting book I'm reading now, Dopamine Nation. Yeah, it's like my entire thing right now is figuring how to hyper focus. That's one of the biggest things I'm trying to figure out. Like I said in the previous episode, I was trying to figure out how to use or kick my mind out of the way to get the things I want to do done. Yeah. A big part of that is figuring out focus. Yeah. So like I've been reading everything about the motivations for doing the things you are doing and dopamine and the hormones, the chemical aspects of it. Like I've been nerding out on it, typical me, like doing this. So I've been reading Dopamine Nation. That's one book I've been reading as part of me trying to figure out focus and my mind and whatnot. Yeah. And seeing how much we've been overstimulated.
Yeah, we have, bro.
Social media, notifications,
bro.
These things. Like our minds cannot stay. Yeah, our minds it's like there are very few people who have the ability to stay their minds at a particular thing for a long period of time.
Bro,
and for the kind of life that we want to live,
you can't have that thing have control over you.
Exactly. You need to be able to focus and do work for long hours, is the truth. Yeah. Without feeling the urge or the need to check your phone. Yeah. Or to reply to a message or reply to an email. These days I see calls and I don't pick them.
Bro, I wish we could talk about I can't remember what it's called, but basically the concept of there is a need your brain wants to fulfill the moment you want to pick up a phone without seeing any notification. Yeah. There is another need when there is a notification. I can't remember. I wrote about this thing, funny enough, in my Medium articles that time. Yeah. but I can't remember what it's called, man. And it's
Mhm.
crazy. It's crazy. We are not aware of we usually are not aware of what is going on in our heads that makes us want to reach for that phone.
Exactly.
Dude, we need control.
Control, man.
Control, bro.
The ability to focus and work
Bro.
for long. Naturally, we can do it.
Yeah, we can.
You found out that there are some times where you're like, me and this place, we die here today. You did not stand up from that seat.
Yeah.
You did it. So, but you need that to be an everyday thing because, bro, if you are building on the skill that we are building, bro, like when I think of us and our community, I think of Pinky and the Brain. I don't know if you watched Pinky and the Brain.
I did now.
And where the intro was like, what are we going to do tonight, Brain?
Try to take over the world.
The same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world. These are the quality of people that we are bringing up. So, yeah. So, guys, like we said at the beginning of this episode, like
it can't be exhaustive.
It can't be exhaustive.
Can't be exhaustive.
But
we know that we have left you with stuff that we consider to be valuable, and we hope that you take as valuable as well.
Exactly, and put it to use in your own life.
In your own life, guys. The transformation would shock you. Will shock you, man.
I give you a month, man. A month. Like Amara says. Not Amara says, but Amara is one that has said it in this podcast. You are building evidence or points in favor of the person that you want to become. There's that thing that they said that Alex Hormozi said, confidence is not about affirmation, it's about evidence. That thing hits me.
Score the points.
Score the points in
favor of that person.
This is who you are. And confidence is not by, I am this. That maybe has its place. No, but if you are this, you do this.
Yeah.
If you are this, you do this, and behind you one day, second day, third day, fourth day. That's what
stack up the evidence. Stack it up in the numbers.
This is who you are.
I have done this thing too many times. This is who I am.
Amara is the god of habit stacking as far as I'm concerned, man. So, but yeah, we hope you guys take a lot of useful things from here. We knew it wasn't going to be exhaustive, but we tried to give you guys probably what we could think of right now, the most useful things. And we hope this make a tremendous difference in your lives. As always, my people, love hanging with you guys. Take care.
See you guys. Cheers.
Alrighty.